Noodlz ain't no simple soup, nah. Swirling on my fork with all the wisdom you scoop. But from the mind of my favorite, it's a savory loop. Hey, in this bowl of knowledge, every slurp I recoup. We be chilling in the kitchen with the steam so true. Crafted by a genius, every spoonful's a clue. Into life, into love, in the broth thought stew. And I'm just sitting here wondering what's the next breakthrough.
Yo, it's Noodlz. Welcome back to another Noodlz Bowl. Today the topic of the day is solo leveling season 1. I know there's going to be a season 2 eventually, so I just want to wrap up the first season and tell you guys what I really think about it. First off, before we get into anything, Chung Jin-woo is the weakest runt of the litter. At least at the start of this series, he was the weakest runt of the litter. I don't know what. Anyways, he was the weakest runt of the litter. He was just like, he was the E-class assassin or hunter. I think it's called hunter. He was the E-class hunter, and he was like just the weakest person there, and he was known for it. How do you have a reputation so bad that you're known as being the weakest person ever? That sucks. That would actually be disheartening and actually be really, really sucky. Anyways, he's went to like dungeons with goblins, basically the weakest mobs, and he's just been getting soloed by him. He's been getting hospitalized by him. It's just not a fun time to be Chung Jin-woo. Eventually, I think this all happens in the first episode, but he goes to this double dungeon, and it's pretty chill in the beginning because it's a double dungeon. The first set of dungeon, yeah, he gets injured a little bit, but it's not something too bad. In this world, they go dungeon hopping because they have to, because these like circles, these sorcerer circles are appearing all over the world, and they just have multi-class hunters go defeat them so they can save the world, and they can get paid for it, and it's really good money in it. It's like $1,000 per like these ruby like things. A little backstory on Chung Jin-woo before I go any further into this double dungeon. His mom is very ill, and he needs to be a hunter because that's the only way he's going to be able to pay his mom's medical bills. So fast forward back into this double dungeon, they're beating it. They're pretty much beating the dungeon. It's the only kind of dungeon that Chung Jin-woo can really do. The problem with this double dungeon is nobody knows the difficulty of the next dungeon ahead, and so they all make a poll almost to go into the next dungeon. And Chung Jin was one of the people that raises his hand because he's like, man, my mom is not gonna eat. Well, his mom was gonna eat before, but we're not gonna eat, and my mom's medical bills can't be paid with this one lit ass ruby. So let's go in that double dungeon to see if we can get some more loot from this dungeon so we can actually get paid, or at least I can actually get paid. They go in this double dungeon and they get fucked. Hardcore, no lube. It's just straight grease monkey pounding. It's all bad in there. They have to follow these commandments by the Lord or the figure being in there. I don't think your thing is a lord or like a god almost, but it's like he's something of higher power, and if you don't follow the rules that are set in that dungeon as they read on the wall somewhere, then you get murdered or you have a chance to run at the end, but we don't find that out until it's the end of the dungeon, and it's like they have to sacrifice somebody. And who do you think they're gonna sacrifice? Somebody who's the leader and probably a B rank hunter, or Chung Jin-woo, who is known to be the weakest hunter of humanity. So yeah, they sacrifice Chung Jin-woo, and he, to our knowledge, he actually dies, but he wakes up in a hospital with this new game-like menu. It's actually pretty cool. Like, imagine, I don't want to say too much actually about that because Elon Musk is trying to make this meta disc where you can use your hand and use the force on your monitor and change the YouTube video and things like that. And I honestly, I feel like that's super scary. When it's more perfected, I think it's going to be like a bigger thing in like the year 30,000 or something like that. But right to now, today, that shit sounds terrifying. Anyways, he has this menu, like a game menu. He has loot, he has options that he can do. He has these danger quests, but not really danger quests, like daily quests almost, and he has to do them or he gets punished, which is pretty crazy because you think like he gets punished like a debuff or something. No, he gets transported to the middle of nowhere in a desert with all kinds of monsters, and he has to survive for like 5 hours, which is absolutely insane. I would have died like so much sooner than Chung Jin-woo did. But I would have died. Eventually, he just starts doing more dungeons and powering up. Eventually, he figures out, oh, this menu is not something to hinder me. I mean, one to save my life to begin with, so I don't think it's that bad to begin with. But this menu helps me out. It's making me strong. It's making me buff. The ladies are loving it. He doesn't realize that the ladies are loving it because he's a fucking, he's like an isekai main character. None of them realize that they're getting hit on until it's too late. Unlike my boy Subaru. Anyways, that's far away from ReZero right now. He goes in these dungeons, like series of different dungeons, saving his mom, getting more strong, getting powerful, and he realizes like there's this cure that heals all ailments at this dungeon because he has this secret key that takes him to dungeons when he like gets a reward for certain things. But let's fast forward a little bit until this hunter dungeon where he goes in it with one of his homeboys. I don't remember that guy's name, but he's really important in the story. He goes in there with him and this group of hunter thugs. They all have names, but it's better to call them the group of hunter thugs because what they do is get a few low rank people that they can kill so they can take all the money that I was talking about earlier from doing these dungeons. They take all of that money for themselves and continue the cycle. They always kill the extra 2 people, so it's more money for them. And so they try to do this with Sun Jin Woo, and I don't remember his friend's name, but they try to do it with him, and it does not go how they think it will go because Sun Jin Woo has been getting more powerful as he goes through these dungeons. So he clears the boss that you have to clear at these dungeons, and they come back like, oh shit, y'all still alive? Must have been a fluke. Put them hands up. And Sun Jin Woo absolutely clears all of them. And it's the most satisfying thing that you would ever see in anime because it's like they are serial killers. It's hunter thugs. They are definite like serial killer by the word. Like you have no other thing to call them because that's what they are. Like they just murder whoever they bring in there. And it's like people that like Sun Jin Woo and the other guy, they were like innocent, bro. They didn't do anything. They already are risking their lives to go in there. So for you to try to kill somebody who's all probably risking their life to save their mother, put food on the table for their family, and you're just murdering them in cold blood, you got what you deserved, I'll be honest. Yu Jin Ho, the friend that I was talking about earlier that I couldn't remember his name. I went and looked it up. I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest with you. I went and looked that shit up. Anyways, Yu Jin Ho eventually recruits Sun Jin Woo to be on his like team so they can make a guild to make his father proud. We eventually learn that it's all some kind of big riggedy skill, not skill, but it's this thing that isn't right. You know, it's something that he wants to do to one up his brother to be in his father's good graces. And I don't know what that story entails. They really don't go as in depth on it as I feel like they need to. Probably somebody else caught it and was like able to latch onto it and really understand what's going on. But me, I'm a little bit stupid, I'll be honest. And it didn't really make sense to me why they were doing everything. I don't know if it was for power, if it was for standing. To my knowledge, he just wants to make a guild, and I can't knock him for that. Everybody, guilds look cool, so have a guild, man. I don't know. Eventually, though, fast forward a little bit past that, we are in the sights of an agent, but not really Sun Jin Woo. He's not really in the sights, but he kind of is. But he sends them on this mission that agent sends them on a mission with 3 prisoners. These prisoners are known very, very bad people without getting demonetized. Very, very bad people. And the agent was sent in there to go kill these 3 people because they are very, very bad people. Not everybody deserves to die, but that's all I'm gonna say about that. So he kills the people, but in the sense of that, you remember the people from the double dungeon that left Jin Woo to die? They are also on this mission. And it gets a little dodgy meshing them with Sun Jin Woo. Sun Jin Woo really doesn't care anymore. He's like, I've gotten such amazing strength from y'all doing that. Y'all cool, bro. I don't care, bro. It was fucked up, but hey, we all do fucked up things, you know? But this agent kills one of them because he's a witness to him killing the 3 nasty prisoners. And it takes a turn for the worse when Sun Jin Woo and the group that separated from them noticed the dead body of the person who was innocent. They were like, hold on, what the fuck? This is not, there's nothing in this dungeon that should have been able to do this. And then the agent tries to kill Sun Jin-woo. Sun Jin-woo says, counter! And, you know, he kills him instead. He takes his ability called stealth that makes him hide in the shadows. It's stealth. I don't know what else you would thought it did, but it's pretty cool. And it's not at the same time, because it's like all this blood on Sun Jin-woo's hands. It kind of like paints that picture that people at the top are not cool people. Even this agent was like, yeah, I was doing this for the good of it, but at the same time, I just like killing people. And it was like, if anybody at the top is just as bad as you, man, this world is fucked, you know? Eventually, I don't know why Sun Jin-woo was hiding that he's super strong. I would just say, hey, I upgraded, bro, I reawakened. But somebody from the other dungeon claims that kill, so they won't know that Sun Jin-woo is a real, you know, a real guy. He's a real nigga. You feel me? Jin-woo, like I said earlier, receives keys for being rewarded for certain things. And this time that he uses a key is his best time using a key ever. He goes in this extra like bonus dungeon. He fights these knights. And the thing with these knights is that his dagger that he got from one of the rewards from the dungeon, it can't really go into metal, you know? And he's fighting like undead knights. So what he does, since he's upgraded his strength stat so much, he says, fuck the knife, I'm ripping you apart. And it's kind of mental. It's really mental when you see it, because it's like, how strong are you, bro? Because these metal knights aren't weak, bro. They're metal knights. So it's just like, if you just box regular humans, what damage could you do? Regardless, he goes through this dungeon, clearing it, and he gets to this point where it's a knight named Igris. Igris is like that, and the I don't know how to say it other than saying Igris is like that. He puts Jin-woo in the nastiest up down A B start combo. It's just, bro, he mixes Jin-woo, but Jin-woo, obviously being our main character and not being able to die, he powers up. He has his anime main character moment and he beats Igris. That main character moment gets cut short because this is like a survival dungeon. He beat the main boss, but now he has to survive for a bonus reward or a bonus rank up, whatever they wanted to call it at that point. It wasn't a rank up then until we later learned that it was a rank up. But he has to survive. It's too many people. He doesn't understand how to beat this dungeon, so he almost dies. He even meets a former weaker version of himself from the not season one, but the episode 1, that Jin-woo is talking to him saying, you're weak, you might as well die anyway. But he didn't complete one of those daily quests, and he gets transported to the daily quest area where the enemies are way weaker. So he was like, man, you know, I'm gonna handle them. I'm gonna level up. I'm gonna heal. And yeah, that's how we're gonna do this. He went back there, figured it all out, and mixed everybody there. Solo leveling is a very, very good anime. From its source material, I love ReZero and I love Steins Gate, and both of those don't come from official mangas. And anime that come from mangas are normally the anime that get pushed more, normally the anime that get like that extra push from like these publishers and the fans. Like, we love One Piece, we love Naruto, we love Dragon Ball. Where they all come from? Mangas. But for me, I feel like Solo Leveling is one of those anime that come from a manga, and it's like it paints that picture on that. Like I said earlier, I love ReZero, and that's a light novel. I love Steins Gate. That came from a fucking game, and it shows you, bro, it doesn't need to come from a manga to be one of those upper echelon kind of anime. I bet it's a lot of anime that did not get the spotlight that it deserved, and it was just as good as Solo Leveling. The animation was probably top tier. The sound design was probably top tier. It just didn't get pushed. Some people enjoyed it, but it didn't get pushed as it needed to, because maybe the budget just wasn't there and they had an off episode and then people just ran away from that series. Solo Leveling is not that. Solo Leveling had the hype before it came in, and I don't know why, to be honest. Even I watch Solo Leveling, I haven't had the time to watch anime as much. Solo Leveling was really good, and I honestly, I want more manhwas. Please leave some in the comments if you know a manhwa that's getting adapted into anime. Please leave some in the comments, because I just genuinely made me want to start like watching more anime that are based off of manhwas. Anyway, Solo Leveling is really damn good. From the first premise of him being, it's a standard main character trope. I was weak, now I'm not. I kind of like, it's a reason that trope does well though. It's really good. It's really good. The upper echelon of people like wreaking havoc on the lower echelon of people is kind of how we got the government in nowadays in actual real time. So I don't want to talk about politics though. That is not my craft. Anime is my craft, and I'm here to stay. So, but yeah, Sun Jin-woo being from weakest to strongest, or eventually the strongest, is a really cool story to see, and I cannot wait for season 2. Season 2 is gonna be a blast. It's gonna be absolutely insane. Now that he has his necromancy power, what the hell is he gonna do with it? I honestly didn't expect him to be like a necromancer. Maybe in the future we get to see him like be a dual class type person, because it said it's like a secondary or secret class or something like that. And it's like, how is he gonna use that? This is one of those shows like Kaiju number 8 that I have not been able to put down. I've been watching a lot of One Piece, trying to catch up all the way to the 1,000th episode and so on and so forth. I'm having a tough time with it. Obviously, there's 1,000 episodes. And I'm on episode like 700 or 600 or something like that. Either way, it's been hard to try to catch up with these latest anime. I've been trying to catch up with these romances and things of that nature. And Solo Leveling and Kaiju number 8 have just held my heart straight. And yeah, I don't know any other things than that. I don't feel like I have anything else to say. Solo Leveling is great. The characters in this is great. Hopefully we get to see some more in like fleshed out characters, like the dude with that's missing an arm, and the girl, I think her name was Lee, and we're gonna see Yu Jinho. We're gonna see what happens with his guild and how does that flesh out. It's even people that found out that Sun Jin-woo was like crazy, not crazy in the sense that he's mentally insane, but he's Sun Jin-woo. He's strong now, and they don't know why, but they know that he's strong, and it's something to do with the upper echelon of people again. So that story, everything in here is just like 3-step parts to what's going on in this anime, and it's really cool to see. And I cannot wait to see season 2. But if you enjoyed this Noodle Balls, make sure to let me slow down. If you enjoyed this Noodles Bowl, make sure to hit the subscribe button, make sure to hit that like button, and hit the little bell just to show me some extra love. Other than that, I have nothing else to say, but thank you for watching this video. Hopefully I catch you in next week's Noodles Bowl, and peace.